By Bay State Dental. Comprehensive dentistry at 14 convenient locations in Springfield, Chicopee, Longmeadow, West Springfield, Belchertown, East Longmeadow, Ludlow, Northampton, Greenfield, and Wilbraham, as well as 29 Broad Street in Westfield. Bay State Dental makes it a priority to help you achieve and maintain the healthy smile you deserve. On the web at baystatedental.com.
Hi, it's Bob Plass, and I have Wow, It's Tuesday, every Tuesday, 6 to 8. Wow, it's Tuesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSFD.
I did it!
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
on. I was there for the half, but my mic wasn't open.
Usually you don't take it, so I decided not to open your stinking mic. So there.
We already have issues in the studio this morning because last time I had interns in here, I was told, give them an idea of what you want. And then we have interns in here again, Bob.
Yes.
And I'm just giving a heads up as to what the director might be doing later. And he's like, shut up, Kenny.
Well, you had this dumb-faced look on your face, and I want to know what the problem was so we could
I'm not listening.
so we could diagnose said problem.
I was waiting for an opportune time to open up my trap.
But you had this look like you were pissed. So I said, well, let's address the problem right here and now and head it off.
No, I wasn't. That wasn't pissed. That was just me being Kenny.
Kenny is not never. He's a curmudgeon. We used to call him in church.
Curmudgeon.
He's a curmudgeon, but he's got a heart of gold. So you got to.
What's the combination of a curmudgeon and a teddy bear?
Kerbear.
Kerbear. I'm a kerbear.
Kerbear. No, a mudgeon. No,
why am I so much shorter than you?
You're a bear mudgeon. A bear mudgeon.
I think I got the deflunctive chair.
A teddy mudgeon.
Thinking.
Uh-huh.
No way should I be shorter than you. Look at this.
You have been doing so much work for our
Only
holiday.
you would notice that, Ken. Only you.
Well, we'll get into that work in a minute. Today is the 24th day of November in the year 2020. Anno Domini. It is 8:09 and a half. This is the Den, Ken's Den.
The views expressed by the host during his monologue are those solely of his own, not those of the culinary students just walking in to give Bob his pie.
Oh, my God.
Westfield State University, the underwriters, or anybody that represents Channel 15. And now, as Bob expects his pie, it's pie.
There it is.
Pie.
Look at that beautiful pie.
Don't get too confident with that right now at all.
You may have to fight us for it to get it out of the building.
Oh, my God. I got my
Now
turkey.
we can't even get it closed.
And my turkey dinners are here.
You know what, Pete?
What's going on, Ken?
There will be no talk of turkey next week in the monologue.
Why not?
No talk of leftovers. No turkey tacos. No turkey soup. Not even turkey jerky. A bird will not be spatchcocked on Du Bois Street this year. I'm taking the lazy way this year and having the kids in the culinary department here at the Tech Academy prepare my meal.
Me too. Great.
Just pop everything out of the fridge this Thursday and stick it in the microwave for a few minutes, and I'll be all set. Mm-hmm. Turkey and gravy.
Ooh.
Cornbread sausage stuffing.
I know.
Yummy.
Homemade whipped potatoes.
Oh, I love the homemade part.
That just means it's not from flakes.
Oh, okay. Snowflakes.
Oh, well, do you want to get into snowflakes, Bob? I'll get into snowflakes.
Oh, here we go.
There goes the bear mudgeon.
Uh,
All right, yes.
Earthworm.
Butternut squash. Maple glazed carrots.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Cranberry sauce.
Oh, that's even better.
I'm okay with not having leftovers. All right? And there's no need to rearrange the inside of the fridge. I was tempted to pick up a bird for 29 cents a pound and cook it just to have it.
Yeah.
Just not feeling it.
You're not spatchcocking this year.
No, nothing getting spatchcocked at my house this
there
year.
will be no spatchcocking.
Will I miss the smell of a turkey roasting?
Yeah.
Perhaps not.
Why not?
Since that is all I have smelled for about a week, since Culinary's Kitchen is right next to Studio 120.
Gobble.
On a side note, Tiger's Pride is putting together carry-out meals several days a week. All right? Get on Facebook and follow them so you know what they will be cooking up.
Wow.
This is all you get from me this week. I actually have guests in both the first half and the second half. So, Pete, let's take a break and come back to Bob, who will tell us about Decemberfest before I kick him out to make way for my first guest.
Oh, wonderful.
They want to hear the Thanksgiving song. All right. This is a Thanksgiving song. I hope you enjoy it. Love to eat turkey. Love to eat turkey. Oh, I love you. Love to eat turkey, 'cause it's good. Love to eat turkey like a good boy should, 'cause it's turkey to eat. So good. That clapping's messing my head up, man. I appreciate it, but I was trying to think of the next line. I'm like, all I hear is clapping. Here we go. Thanks anyways. Turkey for me, turkey for you. Let's eat the turkey in my big brown shoe. Love to eat the turkey at the table. I once saw a movie with Betty Grable. Eat that turkey all night long. 50 million Elvis fans can't be wrong. Turkey lurkey do and turkey lurkey dap. I eat that turkey, then I take a nap. Thanksgiving is a special night. Jimmy Walker used to say dynamite. That's right. Turkey with gravy and cranberry. Can't believe the Mets traded Darryl Strawberry. Turkey for you and turkey for me. Can't believe Tyson gave that girl BD. White meat, dark meat, you just can't lose. I fell off my moped and I got a bruise. Turkey in the oven and the buns in the toaster. I'll never take down my Cheryl Teagues poster. Wrap the turkey up in aluminum foil. My brother likes to masturbate with baby oil. Turkey and sweet potato pie. Sammy Davis Jr. only had one eye. Oh, turkey for the girls and turkey for the boys. My favorite kind of pants are corduroys. Gobble, gobble, goo, and gobble, gobble, giggle. I wish turkey only cost a nickel. Oh, I love turkey on Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Oh, thank you.
Underwriting is brought to you by Boise Cascade Distribution, providing products and services needed for building material dealers, home improvement centers, and industrial customers. They offer everything from engineered wood and plywood to Drex decking and railing, James Hardy siding, and Advantech subfloor. Located at 33 Fowler Street Extension in Westfield and on the web at bc.com, they are committed to providing quality products, great service, convenience, and value.
Hi, this is Harry Rock, host of Rock on Westfield every fourth Wednesday at 8 a.m. Tune in for my view of this place I call home.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Studio 120 session. Pick some.
You know,
We're on the air, Bob.
we're on the air, Bob.
He's been doing this all morning.
Since just this morning, Peter? Just this morning?
Am
don't
I on
think
the
No,
air?
all morning.
Okay.
So this is the 24th day of November in the year 2020, Anno Domini. This is the Denkins Den. Ken Stomsky behind the microphone of him each and every Tuesday. Behind the glass, my Robin Quivers today is Westfield historian extraordinaire Kathy Palmer.
I'm here. Oh, I don't want to hear that. Yesterday, I'll tell you, with all the rain, my dog was so upset. I watched those cows come out of the barnyard, down into the pasture, stood in that rain for about 2 seconds, turned around, and they all went back. So when it was time to get the cows, I had to break the news to my border collie. Sorry, buddy, they're back in the barnyard.
You don't have to do your job.
I thought
He was not
I thought they
happy.
didn't.
Snow day.
I thought they didn't care.
You know, usually they don't, Ken, but they don't like the wind.
Ah,
So, and it was
okay.
really windy out.
Yeah,
So they
yeah.
came down and they stood there and back there. A lot of times I go out, and if it's raining, they're laying out in the field and they're loving it. They don't mind at all. Keep in mind, folks, that Holsteins are very happy in colder temperatures. People think, oh, those poor cows, they're out in the cold. Holsteins biologically are happier in, I think it's something like 20-something to 60-something degrees.
Really?
So they're actually,
They're
when it's
contented
winter,
cows.
well, don't forget they're
They're-
from Europe.
I know I'm not content during those temperatures.
Oh,
No, you
I
are.
love
You
that.
are definitely
No,
not.
you are not a
content.
contented
No,
cow. You're not. No,
you're not. You're one of
a
those
cow
one
mudgeon.
loving.
Cow mudgeon.
In the control room, Kitten of the Keys, Chairman Meow, Peter Coles.
Morning, Peter.
He's
Or maybe not.
Oh, I don't know.
I was
He's
having a
maybe
chat,
somewhere.
so I
Yeah,
couldn't.
all right.
I have.
Okay.
I've.
So there's no time for therapy today.
No.
And
you probably
I,
need it.
I'm. We both need therapy
both
right
need
now.
I know, Bob, and you shirked your duties. I had to do it last week.
Oh, terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which,
You wouldn't pay me.
no, you know there. I was gonna say something about having both a face diaper and another, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah. All right. Hey.
All right. So.
Decemberfest.
But before I kick you out, talk to us about Decemberfest because
Yeah.
I have different listeners.
All right. Yes, Decemberfest, everyone, is happening. Westfield on weekends, we've been producing shows and events since 2003. Decemberfest starts this coming Friday with the Tree Jubilee. It's all virtual and in person, incidentally. The Tree Jubilee this year happens at Roots Athletic Center, 181 Root Road, because we've got 32 beautiful trees and wreaths that have been donated. The branches are filled with surprises, gift certificates, lots of wonderful things. You can view them online thanks to Kenneth right over here. And you go to Westfield on weekends, it will direct you to a site where you can see them, and you can actually buy a ticket to win one of those trees and take it home on December 12th in time for the holiday, or to put it up on your wreath. Some people give their trees away and take all the prizes that are with the trees. So there's a wine tree. You've donated a wine tree with me. We've got KS Solutions is doing, what is that?
I'm giving away some duplication, some conversion services.
Fabulous. So you can have your tapes converted.
I need to get you that certificate.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've got plenty of time for that. Yeah. That goes on from this Friday to Sunday, December 6th, I think it is. And so you've got 2 weekends. You can see it at Roots Athletic Center, and you can see Roots Athletic Center. Thank you to Reminder Publishing and to Roots Athletic Center for offering that. And Westfield Bank and the sponsor of Holiday Lights Challenge, which happens starting on December 5th and goes straight through to January 2nd. The Holiday Lights Challenge is a way for us to tour our neighborhoods like the Scarecrow Trail. And you can enter to win some fabulous cash prizes. I think there's up to $250 worth of cash prizes. If you want to enter, it's $15. It helps Westfield on weekends to produce all of our community events, like all not-for-profits. We're hurting during these COVID times. And you can also just have your name on the map just for fun. If your doorway is lit and you love it and you want people to see it, you go online and you can do that. Go to westfieldonweekends.com. And starting the month of December, and I think it even starts the day after Thanksgiving, aren't they? Isn't it, Ken? You're planning on that?
Oh, no, you've got him started now.
Oh, they're starting now.
No, you've got him started. Ken.
That's just what I thought.
What am I doing now?
Oh, no.
You've cranked Bob up like
Kenny and Peter have been so responsible for putting together more than what we got. 40
Programming will be ready on Friday.
So absolutely, the Decemberfest programming on WCPC will be up and running. You can see it live on westfieldtv.org, and it's going to be YouTubed on Decemberfest 2020.
It'll be a playlist within the WCPC page.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fabulous. And we can't thank you guys enough. I am.
You are out of here, Bob.
I am. I'm going to thank you both.
Because our guest is here waiting in the wings.
I see.
I have somebody pacing.
I used to work with this guy,
I know that.
and he's a great man.
Thankfully,
he's a city council.
thankfully, he's understanding about how you are.
Oh yeah, I'm leaving. I got to go to the dentist anyway. Got to take my turkey home and go to the dentist.
All right. And that food you brought in, I checked it out. That's a nice. You have a nice package, Bob.
Thank you.
All
I'm
right.
going to take my package home with me.
Okay.
And my Thanksgiving wishes to everyone.
Come on, man.
Give some money at Christmas and Thanksgiving, I think, and maybe donate a bit to your favorite charity. Would be a wonderful Thanksgiving gift for us all. Be safe, everybody. Wear those masks. Talk to you.
That's a good cue.
Friday night I crashed your party. Saturday I said I'm sorry. Sunday came and trashed me out again. I was only having fun, wasn't hurting
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Barnes & Noble College Bookstore in the Ely Campus Center, offering Westfield State t-shirts, sweatshirts, and gift merchandise, all of your academic needs, and offering textbook materials in new, used, ebook, and rental formats. Available at the bookstore on campus or online at westfieldsstate.bncollege.com.
Join me, Tina Gorman, each week from 6 to 8 a.m. for Wake Up Wednesday, when my guests and I discuss health, wellness, and lifestyle reimagined.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 at 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Hiding me here.
I can see that.
And we are.
And we're back.
And we're back.
And we're back.
We are back, and it's 8:28, 8:29 on the nose.
Woohoo! Yay!
All right. I do have a packed show today. Usually, I don't have a guest in the first half, but I'm running out of time between now and the holidays, and I needed to fit him in because there are some things that we just need to talk about with the city, even though I'm going to have his boss on next week.
Who's that?
Mayor
Different branch of government.
That's the executive branch.
Yes.
Yeah.
You may want to move his microphone over a little bit, too.
You need to move your microphone.
Get a little closer.
Strong council.
And you know, if you had the headphones on, you'd
I don't want to
know that.
I don't want to hear Pete.
Thanks.
Strong council, weak mayor system, just so you know.
And you know, I've been saying that for years and years and years. So in the studio is City Council President Brent Bean.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome, Brent.
Good morning.
Nice to see everybody.
Been a while since we had you in here.
Yeah, it has.
It has.
That's why
And see that he was a little smart-assed about not wanting to hear Pete, but now he's realizing.
Well, because I know
that
Pete's a smart-ass.
Things go better with a set of headphones on.
I was told my place. I shut off my microphone. Thank you very much.
You're a good man.
I think it was pre-COVID,
Yeah.
Brent, because we were all at the table. So it's been a while.
It has. It has been a while. And listen, I know, as you just said, I'm just kind of a filler here and a shrub, as usually most city councilors are in pictures. So I'm glad to fill half an hour of time. And
you're not filler, because I've been saying it for years.
Yeah.
If you're a member of the city government,
Sure.
or city hall, and there's something you want to talk about or you want to come in, you ask me, and you come in, and you asked me.
I did.
All right. Now there has been one chance or one time when a member of the council or somebody at City Hall said I want to come on, and I said no, and I always try to make it happen sooner rather than later. I feel that's my civic duty to my fellow Westfieldians. See, I went with Westfieldians there instead of Westfielder.
That was the general consensus.
Yes.
Westfieldians.
I got a question.
Did you know that, Brent?
I did.
It's preferred Westfieldians and not Westfielders.
I like Westfielders.
Yeah, well, the general consensus was that it should be Westfieldians.
Well, did the people that making that decision grew up in town and lived in town and been
pretty
for
much,
generations?
right, Kathy?
Or are they?
I think, I believe it emanated from when we had a lot of candidates on.
Oh.
And that was one of the questions, wasn't it, Ken?
Exactly. That was asked of your peers.
Yeah.
Well, but you can go through the
Yeah.
list. And see
Matter of
if
fact, not only me, but I believe, Tina Gorman was asking that same question, Westfielder or Westfieldian, so we could get a good poll.
And that's what they chose.
So, yeah.
Listen, I will completely, I know the group that you were talking about that ran last time. I would say that I only have a half an hour, but I would say that I would go through the list one by one, and some are homegrown, and other are carpetbaggers. Now I say that with love and respect because my council has been outstanding this past year, and they've done more than their due diligence, right? But it is what it is, and some have been here for 2, 3, 4 generations, and Westfield, you have to be here for 3 or 4 generations before you're actually considered it.
Oh,
you have to grow up on the hill in order to be a
hill
Westfieldian.
person.
That's my criteria.
Yeah, you
your
got to be a hill
criteria.
person.
Kathy's criteria.
Oh no, I'm a
Pete's
Highlander.
microphone is still shut off, but
I'm a Highlander.
Oh, that's right. You're up by St. James
I'm
and Highlander
Highlander
stuff. Yeah.
with your dad.
That's right. I forgot about that. but still, that's usually the way I look at things, and my fellow counselors know that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. So, as you act as city council president to help out the city council and our fellow Westfieldians.
Yeah.
Actually, you only have about a month left, and then you lose that seat, don't you?
I do. Yeah, we go back up and re-elect a council president again. And we have a lot of actual seats that are open, and I can give you a list, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come on and just talk about some of the hiring. And we've been short department heads for quite some time, and we're finally coming to the tail end of hiring. We've hired a personnel director just recently.
The personnel director, he's from Colorado.
He's from Colorado, correct. Again, when people say that, we do nationwide searches. See, we did a nationwide search, and we have someone from Colorado, and that took some time. We've been finding that the applicant pool has been limited in the sense of even just sheer numbers, not just about ability.
Well, it must be limited not only because A, the training and expertise, but B, what are you paying? So those two factors have to come together.
They do,
and affect this.
They do. We have a DPW director's position. Dave Billups has since retired. That's in the applicant process now of gathering applications. Again, not getting the applicant pool, not a lot of numbers there. We have the auditor. We just appointed the auditor, a new auditor for us, which was again a revolving door in the city. Hopefully we have someone now that can stay and build an office and build some processes and really get a solid foundation within the office to help our new mayor and other departments kind of build the budget and stay out of trouble when it comes to the state and making sure that we do everything appropriately. We just had a Ward 5 G&E commissioner resign. So we'll be Robert Sacco and I have both had the conversation over the weekend on starting that process of appointing someone in the interim.
Now, it's not just the commissioner. I believe somebody else is retiring too.
And that's also happening. It's kind of funny they're happening together.
Yeah. It happened together last time, didn't it?
It did. Yeah, it did. And then Tony is retiring in March, if I'm not mistaken. So that's another major department head and
another retiree we had recently was Jim Weeks from WEMA. Now he's been replaced.
Jim, that took a little too long for me to have that job replaced. I wasn't too happy about that, kind of situation. We did have Nina and Joe, who are our dispatcher and health director, filling the role while we were looking for that particular seat. But
and you still had the emergency management team that was the volunteer team that was still there too.
Yeah, true. But the job was so important. Especially in the middle of this pandemic, I think we could have been better at filling that position quicker.
Interesting.
And that's still a part-time position. It's just a stipend position. It got morphed into a full-time position a couple years ago, unbeknownst to a lot of us, and we've since dragged that back out of the union. So now it's just a simple stipend position, and we will have that person be reappointed in like an appointment for a commission or something like that. The problem is with the emergency management directors, obviously there's always plenty to do, but unless you're really plagued with a pandemic or a tornado or a hurricane or there is a lot of downtime.
Well, it kind of makes up for itself, doesn't it? Because you go from 10 hours a week to 100 hours a week.
So that's why we wanted to make sure that people. That we have a very qualified individual that's in the position, and I know that he'll do a great job, and he's known to some in that arena, so that's good. And now we have to kind of organize better. We have to make sure we know where our inventory is, and we have to keep up our quarterly meetings that we do with, or monthly meetings that we do with the emergency management group, as Pete just mentioned. So we're getting there. It's been a slow roll, though. I mean, it has been a although and I wasn't being facetious when I said the council doing their job, but we really have we've had more meetings than we've ever had in the course of a year, although shorter in nature, but very driven, very itemized agenda.
Is that because of agenda that needed to be covered, or because it was just easier to slap something together on Zoom?
Yeah, I think a little bit of both. Probably a little bit of both. I mean, Zoom is very easy and very convenient, as long as you're comfortable with the technology piece. But it's really, lack of a better term, dummy proof. I mean, it's really easy to use, and we found that if there's one or two items like a public hearing that might drag out a meeting for like an hour, we'll schedule something on a special meeting to do. I'm going to try to drag that back a little bit because that's not appropriate either. And I think we need to still keep our meetings on a Thursday, every other Thursday, first and third Thursday of every month. So, at times it's good. We're going to do the tax shift that's coming up. I talked to Robin of our assessor, which is always, this is the time of year that we do that. And
it's always opposite what it really should be if you're in real business.
And that's right. We've talked about this, 100 times. And,
Yep.
We've already built the budget. Now we got to raise the money to pay for it.
Yeah.
We do scratch our heads in that, but that's the reality. And we try to be accommodating. And Robin had sent me an email about doing a meeting, December 7th or 8th for a public hearing, because that's what we do and how we do it, or even a special meeting. And we're at the point where I want to say, let's do it December 4th, because that's our normal scheduled meeting. We got to get back to some normalcy on that. And to be honest, the council's been working hard at it. School committee's been straight out. I mean, I can't begin to tell you the amount of work that they've put in, including the administration and so
They've
forth.
had so many moving parts with this pandemic and things
Sure.
changing from the state level all the time. And you guys, same thing with City Hall and just openings and closings of businesses and the governor changing his mind. And
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little crazy.
And I follow a lot of the stuff either on Channel 15 or WSFD.org. Sometimes I might even be involved a little bit, but our producer, not only is he our wonderful, awesome, totally cool producer.
What do you want, Ken?
He's also our media systems specialist.
Yeah.
And he sees each and every one of those meetings going out.
Pretty
And
close.
I
Now
know,
it's just-
I know that he can vouch that the school committee's been crazy.
Well, now with the college being back in session, they've been doing the school committee, city council, and planning board, but I still pick up the slack for every other meeting. Everything down to like a council on aging board or health trust committee. The health trust.
Sure.
So all these meetings have to be broadcast to meet the open meeting requirements. I want to talk to you before you leave, though, because I have an idea about opening up the public hearing to the actual public.
See how he put the arm on me right there?
I didn't.
Well, no, because
I didn't know he was
used
going to
it-
do that. That wasn't planned.
We used it for the Flood Control Commission, the webinar feature of Zoom.
Yeah.
And it actually works pretty well.
Well, this is, to go back to that statement, that's myself, Ralph Figge, Don Humison, and Pete. Am I missing somebody? We went and, we visited, they're going to go visit the auditorium here, but we visited the senior center. And we're going to take a little bit more of a tour around the city to see if we can, and this is probably the worst time because the numbers are starting to go up, but talk about getting back in-person meetings to some form of normalcy again. Maybe we get 7 people in a room because that's the quorum, and maybe other people can Zoom in and so forth. So Pete's been great. Lenore is doing.
We're trying to figure out technical solutions for a hard problem.
And the big problem I'm getting, or the big questions and the concerns I'm getting from my board and my council, is that the public is not really part of the meeting.
True.
And we can sit here and say, they can submit a letter or talk through our ward counselors or at-large counselors or whatever you want to do it. And that's great. And that's what we do. We represent, that's what people forget sometimes on our council, is that we represent the body, not ourselves or our interests.
And those letters are read.
You see the school committee doing it at great lengths. God bless her, Cindy Sullivan, for doing that. And she does a great job with that because it's not easy. And, people want to be heard, and that's really why we have the public process, right? Public meetings and everything. Well, we haven't really done that. And it's been fine for the first couple of months, but now we're starting to see this as my mother says, the COVID lengthen throughout the year here. So
The Rona.
It's not going away. It's not going away. And even if we get the vaccine, it's still not going away, and it's going to change us at a certain level. So we need to find a way to get the public back in. And maybe not at, most of the times with public participation, you have our regulars that come in and speak at the podium. I think it stops some of that happening, so it's more poignant and more real concerns at the podium.
I was just thinking that in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
Is there a disconnect, you think, here between what they're...
I think most people are real. There is a disconnect. There's always a disconnect. We do it better at certain times, but I think overall, most of us kind of still live in our little bubbles, and we've got more important things to do. The holidays are coming up, and that's another whole stress level. But there's also just my job. What are my kids doing? Are they in school? How are they educating? People without kids have to worry about a paycheck. So it's probably not fair to say it now because there's a lot of other things that are pushing us to not pay attention. But overall, most people, if something creeps up in front of them, then they call me or call one of our counselors and say, hey, what about this? And that'll never change. But we still have people that want to come in front of the body and speak and express their concerns and have questions. And we just haven't been able to give that opportunity to people.
Correct.
And keep people safe. That's the other thing. So,
as I'm sitting here, I'm watching how physically vocal Brent is. And I wanted to mention, see these little things that are attached to the microphones now? This funky thing from space?
Oh, yeah.
That's because you keep doing this. And remember, before you'd hear it, go ahead and hit the table like you normally do. You're not
very
getting
nice.
It. Yeah,
very nice.
Yeah. These are the official Brent Bean microphone vibration silence.
That's just my nervous. I'm like, I'm very animated. Maybe it's a nervous tick that I know that I have. Ken, thank you.
Well, no, we've picked up on it every time.
For everybody.
Yeah, because we'd hear it, but we're not hearing it now.
Well, I apologize for making you spend money. First of all,
No, we were planning on doing this actually anyways.
Yeah,
we found a good one at a good price is what we did.
Everyone,
honestly,
everyone
sort of like
does
you ever
that.
see Charlie Baker when he's reading something from the podium. He's always playing with his wedding ring. Every page he'll look down, grab it, read the page, grab it, read the page. It's kind of funny.
I've had this going ever since you came in here.
And
I make you nervous. I know. I can imagine.
Kathy, it's not just him. You see the pen in my hand.
I tend to do that too. I have a pen and I'll click it, click it, click it, click it.
Yep.
We're all a little bit. It's hard, but you're not the only one. Everybody bangs that table. I can't tell you how
I'm
many
not touching
times.
the table, so.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's just been it's been a fast year. It's already end of November. I can't believe it's going to be December soon, and the council has really done their work. We've really. I will say that, and this is something that Bill Oniski, who's the chair of LNO, which is one of the busiest subcommittee out there. We're looking at numbers of what each subcommittee does on a yearly basis, and outside of and I'll give credit to Bill Oniski for putting these numbers together. Outside of LNO, finance, and personnel action. Most of the other committees, I think, total have met 3 to 4 times in the course of a year, where you have the top 3 committees meeting, 50, 100 times in the course of a year. So what we're going to try to do is spread the wealth out a little bit. Some of these things get governed by our charter, too, so some things have to go into certain committees to get done.
Yeah, LNO kind of works with finance
right.
a lot of times.
It does.
And the reality is when and I do it too. You put a motion in because you want to talk about it, but then it sits there because you don't go back to it to do the work. You expect the subcommittee to do the work. That's not fair either. So, and there's a lot of restrictions. So we've been doing a lot of things, the committee as a whole, rather than speaking within subcommittee, because we all know that there was a violation there with certain counselors speaking within the subcommittees.
Yeah, I have noticed over the past year there's more committee as a whole happening now.
Yeah, it's another whole show. It's another whole show.
I think we even covered that about
Yeah.
a year ago when
Yeah,
we
it's-
first
We did.
started to get into that.
Not in the spirit of the rule. That's the way I look at it. And the state backed it up, and that's just unfortunate. They're limiting, the public process, in my opinion. So, and we are different, right? Counselors are different. We've been elected to represent you guys, so we might have information that you don't have on a certain topic. Not saying that we're more important, but you guys put us in this seat to do the work. If you don't want us to be here, you don't like us to be here, and you notice that we're not doing our job, don't vote for us in November. That's the way it works. And it seems to work. It's been here forever, right? Outside of the presidential election is coming to an end here. So
that talk of that is off.
Yeah, that's another whole show.
Yeah, we don't even do that on Ken's Den right now.
So-
Not until there's a definitive answer. Not until January 20th.
Okay, let's move on.
January 20th is when I'll start talking about it.
Yeah.
But I'm not stopping for a commercial here. So what else is up in your craw?
No, I wanted to. Listen, I could spend hours talking about what's up in my craw. No, I just wanted to get on and talk about a little bit where we are in the hiring processes and where we are with, some of the subcommittee works and I feel where the city is as a whole. I think we're in a good position. I still think we need to be very diligent on business recruitment. That's something that really has fallen by the wayside in the last few years, especially without filling Joe Mitchell's position. But we'll get there. I'm hoping this next budget cycle we'll have that position filled. And I've requested the mayor on a few occasions to look into hiring a grant writer. I think that's something the city needs and should have.
Yeah, there were two positions that were just eliminated that really helped, businesses and the community in general.
It's true. And we've seen this mass exodus within City Hall, and I think the council we have now is we're looking to bring back, people that want to work at City Hall, and right now we weren't seeing that. We're not seeing, the applicant pool out there for all these city jobs, and they used to be very sought after. We will be talking about next meeting. I put it in an item in about talking about hiring more Westfield people. I think that's something that we got to get back to. The school department, the city hall, and the Westfield Gas and Electric all need to get in a room and talk about how we recruit Westfield employees or Westfield residents. That doesn't happen. You can look across City Hall. You look across some of the some departments are better than others, right? Especially some on the labor side or some of the ASME union sides. But when we're talking about major department heads or administration, we need to be better at recruiting people within Westfield. And there's plenty of people there. We can, just because they don't apply for a job, we can go out and recruit. We can go out and, try to get them to apply. We all know people that are very bright, intelligent, hardworking individuals that we need to make sure that they're working here in town. And because for a lot of different reasons. One, you're here 24 hours a day, so you're seeing things that you normally wouldn't see if you're driving all the way out to Wilbraham, right? No offense to Wilbraham.
Any reason why you've just pulled that town out of the air?
Well,
No, we're not. No.
Another show.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, that's a lot of salaries going out the door and not spending money within the city limits. Not that is going to guarantee us to make sure people spend money within the city limits, because to be honest with you, there's really only a handful of things that people can actually spend their money here in downtown and in Westfield. It's a lot different than where it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago. So, and we can talk about that all day long as well. But a lot of that revenue could be back in the hands of the city. But we're hiring people from Chicopee. We're hiring people from all over Western Massachusetts. And I think we just need to be mindful of it. I think, and I'm not sure legally we can put those kind of restrictions to a certain extent, but I'm going to be damned if we don't try. And maybe it doesn't work. But we're going to show people that we want to make sure our residents are secure And you know, we all talk about buying locally and servicing locally and all that, but no, I'm talking about managers' positions, administration positions need to start coming out of
Yeah, I think I remember seeing something like that trying to happen in Springfield, and
Springfield.
I don't think it went over very well.
Yeah.
They had a residency requirement. You had to move there within so many years.
Correct.
And I think the problem there was it really wasn't tracked. So you did have people that were not moving.
Right.
And then there's a bit, what do you do about it? What do you do when they say, well, my kids are in school, and it's an issue?
Well, and I'm not here to, it's not, I'm not picking on one individual. It's not personal because we have a lot of department heads who live out in this town that do their job. It's not that at all. It's just, it's a lot of money driving out of town. These salaries, like, I want them to spend it here. And they're not spending it here because they're going back into Northampton. They're going back into Wilmington.
And their real estate taxes are going.
Yeah, it's also an interest investment.
Yeah.
In being invested in the town that you are in, because you have a personal investment in your schools, you have an investment in your parks,
right,
in your entertainment industry, in your education, in your economic industry. So I see your point. There's a deeper commitment if you live in the community. Not to say that people who don't
right.
are not committed. I mean, I was involved in the schools for 40 years. I had teachers here and teachers not here, and they're all wonderful. So I'm not aiming at that, but
right.
I think you're correct that there's an incremental interest.
We need to pay attention to it, and it might be a situation where everybody.
And maybe not. We could be wrong.
Yeah, I just the heads of the schools, like, you know, with Stefan and Tony, or the mayor, or our HR person, and then, you know, we have several different ways to hire somebody within City Hall, which is ridiculous, right? We have a DPW director process. We have the, you know, auditor we appoint as a council. We have personnel director that the mayor does, but then we appoint. And, you know, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess, and it's probably set up that way to be confusing for obvious reasons. But if we can't do anything concrete, because we also don't want to hurt ourselves on recruiting people that are, you know, that we want in this town. I mean, maybe the residency requirement needs to be part of the discussion. Springfield, living in Springfield and living in Leicester are two different things too. There's also a affordability issue out there too that we need to pay attention to.
Relocation, it's expensive.
I mean, the city of Boston does that all right. I mean, there's people that, you know, work in the city of Boston that can't afford those suburbs around it, so they're driving in from an hour.
And that being the case, you want to see the high-speed rail come in.
Another whole discussion. Yeah.
So that now the people working in Boston who don't have $1.5 million for a house can come out here and for $400, find themselves something really nice and be in the town in an hour and a half on the train.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, again, I think it's a longer discussion. It's going to be something that's going to take some time, but I still think even if we can't put in things in place as hiring authorities, we need to have that first in our mind.
And it's not a new discussion, Brent.
Oh.
This has been around forever and ever and ever.
And listen, I'll be strong with the language outside of being on the radio here, but it's terrible the way we do it now.
Yeah.
We're not seeing people get hired. There are people that apply. There are people that get transferred within departments and move around a little bit, but we don't see Westfield people getting hired. And we need to show that we want that to happen. We need to show the Westfield residents that we want them to apply, because we're not seeing that either. So, I don't know.
It's a conundrum.
Yeah, it's not easy, and we just got to try to do our due diligence and fix it.
What would you like to see happen with the shift coming up?
Oh, yeah. I think we were at like 1.66, which means nothing to anybody really. If you leave it there, you will see an increase on either side, I believe. I have to get the numbers from Robin. I believe the commercial buildings are staying stagnant. That value commercial buildings. I think I'm seeing a increase in residential buildings in the sense of their values, and that's usually what pushes where we kind of want to
Right.
go.
Right.
My gut feeling is that because if that's true, you'll probably see the shift go favor the residents on that particular side, meaning that they'll pay less.
They'll still pay more than last year, but less than what they possibly could pay.
Correct.
All right. And, just because it shifts doesn't mean, oh boy, my taxes aren't going to go up.
That's right. Your value really dictates a lot of it, and that's when people do get upset about that, and I get plenty of phone calls, or at least people you may see around town, because I live in town and I'll be walking around and actually see people. That's where their anger goes, because I could sit. I mean, we've had situations where we didn't raise taxes. The budget was at 0%. The mayor's budget this time went up 2.5%. But there's been plenty of arguments because the values go up in housing or commercial. That percentage goes up as well, and they're right.
And the extra money people are paying to get into houses now, they're paying more than what they're worth. That really does not come into play when it comes to valuation.
No, it does.
I know it's difficult to try to explain.
I mean, you got to look at your comps. I mean, you got to look at your comparable houses that got sold. And if some people sell a house at an astronomical rate, and you sit there and you scratch your head why, there's no control over it. People want that house. They want that house. They'll overpay for it.
And that's what's been happening.
Yeah.
And that's not going to have an effect on valuation. Valuation, I still think a lot of places are overvalued, but it's
well, as he said, the market drives it. If you have a lot of people, the market's going to drive it.
Yeah. If we all just stop paying so much, we may see stuff drop. But we're it's going to be a tough next year.
We got another bad year.
Yeah, we're going to be worse off the next year coming up than we were this year, because I think a lot of the subsidies will dry up. Not that we had any real subsidies within the city. I mean, we deferred some tax payments here or there, but that's a deferment. We're not waiving anything. And you're gonna hopefully some of these businesses can just hold on.
With a different administration down in Washington, though.
Yeah.
Who? All right, I'm going to say they're more tax and spend. There may be more money out there. Somebody's going to pay for it, but there
Right.
may be more out there.
Listen, the Fed's just recently given out a lot of money from PPP loans to just, grant funding, and someone's going to have to pay for it.
Yeah.
And plan on it. So I just hope we can wade, the storm another year or so, and then hopefully get back to some normalcy and really take an active role on building our tax base when it comes on the commercial side. We really need to, and we keep banging the drum, but we need boots on the ground to do it.
You've been saying for over 5 years I've been having you on the air. Bring business into Westfield.
Yeah,
fill up the north side. Bring in business. That's an incredible tax base.
Yeah, and I guess it's rhetoric too, because I'm failing as well. I'm not pointing fingers at anybody in particular. It's just I don't think we really have gotten together as a city to really market all our assets appropriately, and that's.
And we have a lot of assets. Proximity to 91.
Yep.
Route 90. Fiber internet.
Yep.
Municipal water and sewer. Municipal gas, low electric rates.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot to market
Education, recreation.
Yeah, I mean we have a Westfield Academy. We have the high school. We have a Catholic education with St. Mary's. We have a hospital, a college. How can we not capitalize? You show me any other city around us that has what we have.
And our proximity to larger cities
there
also.
And we're not, and I'll say it, we're failing. We've gotten, blame COVID, fine. But when we
were failing before that.
We were failing before that.
Yep.
And that's got to be everybody's number one issue, not roads. I don't want to hear about roads for another 10 years.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
We've done our due diligence. There's still roads that need to be fixed. I get it. I drive on them just probably more than most because I work in town and I live in town. Again, back to the live in town thing.
Yeah.
So we've got to get a tax base. That is the only way to offset residential taxes and commercial taxes.
Then
It's
that'll
the bill- the
also
bills.
really help us with avoiding the ceiling.
Yes.
Because now that the ceiling, if I'm not mistaken, is just right around the corner too.
It is. It's coming. And
we don't want to hit that.
No, we don't. I mean, it might be a necessary evil, though.
I don't even want to think of.
I know. And can we cut some stuff? Yeah, here or there. I mean, but we've got to get better. We've got to get better as a whole, and we just haven't done that. And hopefully, with a new position within the G&E commission, the G&E top guy, and with Don, with a new mayor here, and I know Stefan will probably still be as superintendent. So there's 3 top people there, and then we've got to take some people within business. We're gonna have a new president at Westfield State.
Right.
Which, by the way,
we're still looking for a chamber director too.
Well, again,
the chamber can help drive business too.
we got Chris Wollenberg back from the airport. Come to back, and that was a huge move for us. Chris is phenomenal, and with his experience now on the Fed side.
Yep.
So we've just got to get creative, and we've got to let people, everybody's got their own idea. That's half the problem. But give us 1 or 2 ideas. Get people in a room, and let's talk. Let's figure out how do we package this stuff up and move forward. And I don't know the answer. I really, really don't.
How do you get that started?
You really just got to force it. I think it's got to be a priority on the 3 people that I just mentioned: the mayor, the superintendent from the G&E, and the schools. And I mean, the schools is probably playing a very little role at this point. But G&E, the mayor, maybe you pull in the college, maybe you pull in the hospital, the airport. Some of the bigger ticket things like that. And with a nice new grant writer and a new community development person or business development person, get them in a room, try to get some money together to market the stuff out and move forward. I mean, we've crept into marketing the city here or there, but we haven't done a good job.
Do you think 2021 is the year that absolutely needs to start happening and the push needs to be made for that?
It has to be the number 1 issue this year.
I'm aware of that, Peter. Thank you.
That's real. I mean, we got a new state rep, right? We, John Vilas has been around a little bit, but a new senator, right? So if we're not forcing them to go find some monies to not force them, but keep them in the loop and to have those conversations, we have a Republican governor, we have a Republican administration within Westfield. Why are we not utilizing that? We have Richie Neal, and you can talk politics all you want, but Richie Neal sits on Ways and Means. Why are we not going after these people? They find money for communities all the time.
Yeah. And at the community level, there's no liberal or conservative. It doesn't matter. You can talk to Richie about it.
Yep. And people will be like, because Democrat, Republican, I don't want to hear it. I want people to bring back money to the town so we can utilize it to hopefully.
It doesn't matter if you're red or blue. Bring in money.
It doesn't. It really, really doesn't.
At least on the local level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I know you have another guest and stuff, but thanks for at least giving me the half hour.
Thank you for coming.
You got everything out that you needed.
I did. Now I can eat my turkey in peace on Thursday and
deep breathe.
I will say I'll just give a couple plugs. Ralph and Sue Figgy, obviously with the Thanksgiving drive. Make sure we got the next couple of days. Make sure you
They're able to get a
much.
couple hundred turkeys.
It's unbelievable. Yeah,
they're over 200 meals again this year. Unbelievable
so
how much work they do.
Reach out, if you can give, Ralph's numbers on the website, city website, as a counselor, so you can obviously sign.
And also, if they're all set, help out the Westfield Food Bank.
And the
they need
Westfield
the
Food
help.
Bank. Correct. But outside of that, I'm good.
All right,
Appreciate it.
City Council President Brent Bean, I want to thank you for coming in and spending some time with us.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, Brent.
All right, Pete.
Burn down the store, take what you want and more. Shop until you drop, voodoo consumer never stop. Load up on supplies, no sale, no compromise. Gun crazy down the mall, voodoo consumer take it all. Eat this, drink this, drive this, charge it, it's fabulous. Step right up and take it. It's fabulous. If you can't afford it, fake it. Be deviously dangerous, ridiculously cool. Let's make it fabulous. 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 Drive me to the bank. Kneel down and give me thanks. Grab your credit card, voodoo consumer, kiss me hard. Eat this, drink this, drive this, charge it, it's fabulous. Step right up and take it, it's fabulous. If you can't afford it, fake it. Be deviously dangerous, ridiculously cool. Let's make it fabulous. Take it all too far. Sell the company car. A bargain come too late. Voodoo consumer terminate. Eat this, drink this, drive this, buy this, wear this, fly this, play this, charge it. It's fabulous. Step right up and take it. It's fabulous. If you can't afford it, fake it. Be deviously dangerous, ridiculously marvelous, meticulously treacherous, disarduously cruel. Just make it fabulous. 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 Fabulous.
Underwriting support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Greater Westfield Chamber of Commerce, the voice of business for the Greater Westfield communities. Informing, educating, advocating, the Chamber provides opportunities for members to make meaningful connections on local, regional, and state levels. For more information on the Chamber's many events, workshops, and programs, as well as the benefits of membership, visit westfieldbiz.org. The Chamber focuses on the most important economy, yours.
Hi, this is Harry Rock, host of Rock on Westfield every fourth Wednesday at 8 a.m. Tune in for my view of this place I call home.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Look at that! The Hendersons are getting a new fence.
Ah, who cares? They're swingers.
I want a new fence.
We just got one 2 years ago after your parents were killed.
I want a new fence. That's it. We're never having sex again.
Need a home loan fast? At the American Bank of Los Santos, we'll help you get the debt you need to make life easier. We'll show you how to look richer and be poorer. Your home is your equity. What exactly are you saving it for? You need to impress people fast, not in 20 years. It's only a risk if you get into money troubles or the economy changes, which doesn't seem likely. We know living in the suburbs is a constant competition, where you're defined by your lawn and your siding. Call American Bank of Los Santos when you need to add a rec room addition with a jungle swing or a jacuzzi for 8. Now that the kids have moved out and have drug problems of their own, maybe it's time to install a luxury marble wet bar so you can get drunk in private. American Bank of Los Santos. Dreams take money. Why worry about tomorrow if you look inadequate today?
Ken Stem brought to you by American Bank of Los Santos. Figured I'd bring that up, seeing the last thing we were talking about.
Yes, I got what you did there.
Pete has that now too, huh? Somebody's at the door here.
Let him in.
Yeah, so, figuring, the last conversation there, that was kind of fitting. At the door and coming into the studio now, State Representative-elect Kelly Pease. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning. How are you guys today?
Good, you?
Good, thanks.
Why not start things off a little lightly, And we're going to end things off a little lightly, too, because I don't even know if you are familiar with Ken's 10.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Did he do that before?
Did we do it the first time around?
No, I don't think he did.
Yeah, before the primary, we had me in during Ken's 10 there. With,
Did we do Ken's 10, though? We didn't do Ken's 10.
Did we do the COVID edition?
No.
Okay, that's what it is.
So.
It's the COVID. Okay, so we have the COVID edition of Ken's 10 later on.
Okay.
It's harmless. We won't hurt you. We won't injure you.
But you did win the primary, and then you went on to win the election for the position that John Vilas left when he went to become senator. I may have different people tuning in right now. Sometimes people just don't tune in to the shows I have dealing with elections and politics. But let's actually once again find out who Kelly Pease is.
Oh, well, Kelly Pease is somebody who was born here at Noble Hospital, but grew up in the hill towns. So, I mean, obviously, Westfield was always my city. I mean, came down here, and my mother made me take dance lessons with Betty Champion with my sister back in the day, and my aunt lived on Little River. I used to go bowling at the bowling alley over there, which is now the Super Phipps. But anyways, as I got older, I was always involved in community. I was a volunteer fireman, a part-time police officer, and I even was elected to Board of Selectmen in Chester at 21. Then I joined the military at 25. I did 20 years in the Army, active duty.
And thank you for your service.
Thank you. And then I retired, and when I moved back here, it was a no-brainer where I was going to come to, so we moved to Westfield. We got a nice house over on Montgomery Road, and I have a son in 3rd grade at Southampton Road, which is great. I have an older boy that's in the Air Force. He's over in Japan. But
that's cool.
So
that's really cool.
Well, I was hoping to go see him this last year, but with COVID, it wasn't going to happen. He's there until next year, so I'm hoping maybe this summer we can get over there and see him, because I told him in my 20 years in the Army, I did Korea a couple times, but I never been to Japan. So
and now the other cool thing, and I'm going to call it cool with the military, what rank did you leave with?
Oh, yeah. I retired as a Chief Warrant Officer 4, which, if you're not familiar with the ranks, you got your enlisted, which goes up to like Sergeant Major, and you got your officers, which go up to General. And in between, there's this little niche called the Warrant Officers, which are technical experts, and half of them fly helicopters, and the other half are technical experts in their field. And I was in military intelligence, the contradiction in terms. So but I used to do mapping and imagery, and did some stuff with drones and U2 and satellite and stuff.
Interesting.
Oh, it was a fantastic career.
Yeah.
I guess.
And when you explain that, that's not quite the same as like a G4 specialist. This is a step beyond that.
G4 special. Oh, you mean like a Spec 4?
A Spec. I'm sorry.
Right,
Spec
enlisted.
4.
Those are enlisted where.
It's almost like a sergeant level, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Right, because it used to be that they used to have a specialist like E4. You could be an E4 specialist, and you could have a sergeant, or you could have a 5 specialist. But they did away with all the specialist grades except for E4.
I was messing up E with the G there, but my father was actually a Spec 4.
Yep.
So that's one of the only reasons why I know about that.
Yep.
But it's not quite the same level as you are, because we are talking enlisted versus officer now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's always cool, Kathy, when you have the privilege of actually talking to an officer.
Yes, it is.
In the military.
Yes, it is. Very much so.
Vilas is a major. That makes him another officer. So we're really blessed with some of the military talent that we have coming in here.
We are, and we thank you for your service.
Well, thank you. I mean, I obviously gained a lot of experience traveling all over the world, dealing with foreign governments all over the world, and in different services. So it was like I said, it was a fantastic career, and I wouldn't have traded it for anything.
So what years were you near Korea?
Well, I was there as
Or
a
at Korea?
I was there as an E4, like 93 to 94, and then I went back as just as I made Chief Warrant Officer 4, where I lived off base in an apartment. So that was a much better tour because I was in charge. So, so
How far off from the DMZ were you?
the first time I was there, I was up in the 2nd Infantry Division, so that was north of Seoul, so that wasn't too far off. The second time I was down south of Seoul at Camp Humphreys, where they used to fly some planes that would monitor the border and stuff out of. And
So you're talking at one time under 50 miles, and at the other time over 50 miles, somewhere around there.
I mean,
I know over there it's clicks and not miles.
Right, but even way down south, they had some of their rockets and missiles that would be able to reach us down south, but not quite as many as if you were Seoul or north of Seoul.
Yeah. South Korea is actually on part of my bucket list. Actually, that whole area of the world. A lot of people, they want to go see Europe or go see the plains in Africa, or Australia or New Zealand or whatever. I want to start at Japan and hit Korea, Hong Kong and China,
Thailand,
and then
wanna do
and then
Thailand and
you
the
make your way
Philippines.
down to Philippines and Thailand.
Big tourist industry going
yeah.
on there now.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
Vietnam, big tourist industry.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I
just for the food.
Don't forget New Zealand.
I went the 2 tours in Korea, and one of those I did a USO trip during over Thanksgiving time frame, actually. So that was 07, but where we went over to China for the weekend. And they had a bus, and you went up the Great Wall and everything. So that was pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
Yep, it was good. But yeah, there's a lot of countries that like over there, like you just mentioned, that I haven't gone to. I mean, I was able to go to like Australia for a week or so for a conference, so that was pretty interesting.
No way.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Did the toilet really flush in the opposite direction down there?
No, I don't think. I think that's a myth.
Yeah. Okay. I know it's. I know
something
it's.
tourists are asking.
I know
but
it's a
good
myth,
to know.
But yeah, that used to be the big thing when you were in middle school. In Australia, the toilets flush in the opposite
If you're in the
direction.
southern hemisphere versus the northern hemisphere.
I'm sorry, I must have missed that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. You've heard of that myth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll ask.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's quite a myth more than a tale or something like that. I'm at a loss for the correct word. I'm looking for on that.
Yeah.
And my wordsmith across the way here isn't picking
Yeah,
up on what
I'm not getting
up.
it. I'll
Legend.
Yes.
Legend.
Be a legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think myth is probably the better word.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a myth. as
We have a
opposed to
question from the
mystery.
audience, by the way.
Okay. Let's hear it.
He wants to know. Kelly said he was on a famous for being on a TV show when you were a kid.
Yes.
Well, I did skip over that part.
And do we know who was asking?
Danny Nason, our research department.
Okay. Good morning, Danny.
Well, and I did skip over that part of my life. When I was 9, I was actually the Betty Champion dance group used to go to Atlantic City, New Jersey every year for a week. And we were on the beach, and this lady came up to my mother and thought I'd be good for commercials because I had red hair and freckles. I mean, I had freckles on my face back then. And,
Partridge Family.
Yeah, so
yeah.
So of course, being from
Danny Bottaducci, right?
Being from up here,
he looked like Danny Bottaducci, right?
No, he's better looking than Danny
Thank you. But so my mother thought I was crazy. But anyways, it ended up that the lady gave my mother a point of contact for a manager in New York, and we went down there, and the ladies thought I'd be great. Of course, they don't put any money in, but my mom and dad put a pretty good amount of money compared to, my dad was a maintenance man and stuff, to see if anything became of it. And lo and behold, 10 years later, I got a 10-year pension plan with Screen Actors Guild that if I live to be, 62, I'll get some of that. And
about another 10 years or so.
You got your SAG card? You're doing better than Bob Platt.
Yeah, I'm an honorary SAG member with a pension plan. But yeah, I did 91 TV commercials. I did a PBS TV movie, which you can see on YouTube now. And I also did danced live at Lincoln Center for the Daytime Emmy Awards. Of course, this is back in '79 because I'm old.
Kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I got to meet all those daytime stars. I did a.
Yeah, you didn't have a TV show that shares the same name with a rap group?
Oh, the Bloodhound Gang?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a PBS show 321 Contact, and at the end of it, they'd have this little thing called the Bloodhound Gang, and yeah, I was a member of the Bloodhound Gang.
Remember 321 Contact?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
At Prospect Hill, we had the Sony 19-inch Sony Trinitrons on a cart.
Yep.
And they'd be wheeled into the room
Yep.
and plugged into the closed circuit for the city, and we'd watch Channel 57 321 Contact.
Matter of fact,
Yeah.
Dan Knappich told me at the Mayor Ball, he said, I didn't know you were on that show. He said, I used to get extra credit after school for watching that. He said, if you went home and watched it, you got extra credit.
Yeah, that gave way for a lot of the early initial programming on Nickelodeon, if you think about it.
Yeah.
If you think about, you can't do that on television. There were a lot of educational and learning aspects that came from some of that
PBS,
early
yep.
PBS. It was a PBS Scholastic Network, something of another.
Yeah.
This is over 40 years ago for me, so I'm having a hard time remembering.
You too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I'm just sitting here realizing, oh, geez, that was 40 years ago.
Yeah.
But
we're not going.
All right, so we've canvassed all his old jobs. Now let's canvass his new
yeah,
jobs.
well, it's important just to get to know and learn who our rep is, and
gotcha.
and as the sessions go on, once you are sworn in, I do expect you to come in from time to time to report.
Absolutely. I look forward to that.
We had that set up with our other rep, but he got too busy for me. Well,
hopefully we'll
now he's even busier.
Yeah.
And we grab him when we can. But I look forward to bringing you in. So when I say bring you in, we're going to be talking about you being our latest greatest state rep, and you covered several things in your platform that you wanted to work on and make sure that you bring to attention over in Boston. What are some of the things you want to jump in on? Of course, you're going to be assigned things as well.
Right. I'll be assigned to various committees, but and I know that the council president Brent there, said that he doesn't want to hear about roads because he has to focus on business. Well, that's going to be my focus, is trying to get money for the roads so the city can do that, not have to worry about it. Because as I tell people, I can't believe that every representative, whether you're Democrat or Republican, doesn't have the same complaint from their constituents, which is their roads all throughout the state.
And we keep seeing billion and billion and billion in surplus. Yet we're only trying to go from an extra 200 to 300,000 for roads, which will help greatly. 300 million,
Yep.
which will help greatly, and it won't really be much of a drop.
Well, first of all, the gas and I'm not sure how it's going to fall out this past year, but the gas and diesel tax takes in almost like $700 some odd million, and they only give the 351 cities and towns $200 million. So I don't know why we couldn't double that at least and get a good headway to have these communities to do a better job of taking care of the roads, not just patching them, but doing a plan over 15 years where you do it right, so you can just kind of rotate it through and have better roads over time.
Well, I'm kind of fearing that there's going to be more tax money there with the shared emissions thing they're trying to push through now.
Yeah, we don't know where that's going to come out because Governor Baker just kind of stepped back from that a little bit or took a pause. We're waiting to see what that means when
I know he was one of the driving governors in the region for that.
Originally.
Which surprises me because of the R after his name. But
right, I mean,
this
is like his number one priority or something. And but just at a press conference, I think it was just this last week, he kind of said we might need to step back from that for a little while because of the current environment. So so I'm not sure, with not as many people traveling and everything, he said that the emissions aren't as bad right now, so maybe we don't need to go as
Correct.
extreme. So I'm waiting to get more details on where exactly he wants to go with that, because I don't think that's the answer.
You know, I'm also I'm thinking that, you know, with the number of people telecommuting now and companies saying, "Oh, wow, geez, this is actually working for us. Now we can shut down half of our building, use half
Yes.
of the electricity and half the heat."
We may be switching the paradigms.
And,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
we're going to be pulling people off the road at the same time. What we started to do at the beginning of the Rona may end up continuing even after, you know, we're past it, because economically it makes sense.
Even including things like home deliveries.
Right. I mean, you see that that some companies are going to come back more than they are in the current environment, but they're going to obviously probably not come back as much. Like you say, there's going to see the advantages and the cost savings. And quite frankly, I would not want to own commercial real estate
Geez,
right now.
I only have to hire a janitor for 2 hours a night instead of 4.
Yeah.
I mean, it all adds up.
But you're going to take a hit on the commercial real estate side.
Yeah.
You know, those guys, it's going to be tough, because obviously if you need less space.
It may well be that there's going to be years of recovery from this, and the state's going to take the hit.
Right.
You're not coming on at an easy time.
No, you are
Out of
not.
all the times you could have picked.
I know.
Of course, when you first decided,
Everything was fine.
everything was fine.
Yeah.
Sort
Matter
of.
of fact, I did my first kickoff
I
event.
do remember the campaign announcement.
Yeah, and in February, it was February 12th, before this all happened. Thank goodness I did that, because you couldn't do anything after that.
No, and even in when you were starting your campaign, even in March and April, we expected it to be temporary.
Right.
Certainly,
Everybody's
we
talking
thought, oh, we'll
30,
shut down
30,
for 2 or
60
3
days.
weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Yeah, we'll be back.
4 or 5 weeks. You,
Sure.
you shut it down, it's going to go away.
And it did not go away. So,
No.
Kelly, what kind of I know this is a question for our viewers. What kind of preparation now do you have to do to get ready to actually have your boots in the State House in January?
Well, quite frankly, a lot of people have reached out to me. So I've been
Oh,
doing a lot.
good.
I've been doing
Excellent.
Zoom meetings. I got a lot more
Excellent.
scheduled, just with people who want to educate me about what they do, whether it's charter schools, whether it's the Boys and Girls Club that want to have a talk with me, or a Zoom session, or the YMCA. I mean, they're the bigger overall, not just the local, but what their agenda is across the board. The Builders Association. I got also the food pantry people. I got a call with them. So a lot of people have reached out, and they're doing so many things through Zoom now, which makes it a lot easier for me, because you know, you don't have to travel all over the place to do these. So I guess that's a good prep. Is all these folks reach out to me and other reps to say they want to do. I mean, even like the forestry people that try to manage the forestry and stuff. They have a meeting set up to just go over what their challenges are, so you kind of get a better picture and situation going forward, what you're getting into, and what these folks are hoping to get out of the state legislature.
Thought in my head 20 seconds ago, it just escaped me now.
Okay.
You're having a foggy morning here. Foggy morning. But of course, we do have to mention that you have experience down there anyway, so there's a comfort level for you, is there not?
A little bit. I mean, the good thing when I worked for Senator Hummerson as his aide and went down there a few times, we were down there, and Senator Hummerson would say, hey, we don't really have a lot going on the Senate side today, but they're taking up these bills today in the House, so why don't you go and sit up there and watch what's going on. So I did that a few times. So I got a good kind of feel for what happens there. But a lot of times with the House, it's different than the Senate. They don't have as much debate. It's more the Speaker kind of does more things behind the scenes, I think, and then they bring it to the floor. So I gotta figure out what's going on.
And I remember what I was about to get into. Bob Plass has my brain frazzled today. All right, so that's where I'm laying the blame. Do you go to for lack of any other terms, a state rep school for a day or so? I know that the mayor Well, every new mayor has to go to Boston for a day. In
That
order
was
to
part
figure
of my
things
prep
out.
question.
Right. No, that's a great question because they used to do this thing at UMass every new session for new representatives, and they're not going to be able to do that. I think they're talking
Interesting.
about doing some kind of Zoom session maybe for just an orientation, but they're not doing the UMass event, and they're hoping maybe they'll be able to put that back in, maybe even in the spring. But they usually have that, I think, in December normally for new reps coming in.
So it's trial by fire.
Yeah, I mean, I've reached out and talked to the minority leader's office and also the chief of staff for the Speaker DeLeo's office. They've reached out to me as well. Just let me know if I have any questions. Please don't be afraid to contact them. So,
All right. I want to get back to state rep things and Kelly P's things shortly, but I want to make sure we take a minute or two out for something else. And several times on social media, Kelly has posted pictures of videos in his backyard. So we're going to mention what the picture was of, and then Kathy is going to set everything straight about approaching this creature. So what has your camera been picking up, Kelly?
well, it seems like I have a young 2-year-old bull that's coming over to my, and that's no bull. It's a real bull. It's in my backyard.
You had to go
Oh, my
there.
God.
I did.
Great.
So I had this young 2-year-old bull, and I guess the story is, and I can set it up, and I'm sure Kathy knows more information than I do, but basically down at the end of West Road, it got dropped off from auction, and then it went out to the field, and it got spooked, and it ran through the fence, and it's been on the loose ever since, and now it's down by my house on Montgomery Road, or it was coming out there in my backyard.
One of the last sightings was Root Road.
Right now, now it's gone down towards Russellville Route Road in that area. So it's kind of getting further away from West Road, unfortunately. So anyway, then Kathy can probably give more details.
That's
from there.
pretty much what happened. It's doesn't belong on our farm. It's someone else's, and they were just pasturing it there. And when they let it out for whatever reason, he decided that's not where he wanted to be, and he just booked right through the fence.
So we have a wild bull on the loose on the north side of town.
Well, he's not exactly wild, but he's not
He's
tame.
gonna become wild now.
He
won't let you get close to him. If you get close to him, he's going to run. That's what
He's
he
going to run, but I want everyone to know we are on it. We do go the minute somebody calls. We do want him back. We're not letting him wander around on his own. Unfortunately, he doesn't come when you call him. He's not a little doggy, but we have been in touch with our veterinarian, who is a large animal vet. We have also been in touch with a man who does this as a job. It is his job to wrangle large animals back. The problem is you need to get close enough, and everyone says, well, just shoot him with a tranquilizer, which we have, and we've been in touch with the vet to do that, and we have to have them come and do it. But you have to know where he is, which we do right now, and you have to be able to get close enough to actually shoot the dart for any length of time. Now, keep in mind, he's not going to fall right there. So then you need people to track him so you know where he goes once the dart has gone into him. So if he wanders off into the woods, good luck with that.
Would the environmental police be able to tag him?
No, you have to get close enough to do any of this. They talked about calling in the environmental police, and that's fine, but you have to get close. So the best method that the vet has said, please don't chase him. Do not chase him. If we can find him and we can feed him and we can get him to come to us and get used to it, because they have a pen that the person who does this for a living has a catch pen, and even the MSPCA uses this same method. They have a catch pen, you get him into the pen, and the pen will automatically shut. But again, we got to find him. And what happened is after he left Kelly's house, he was resting at Kelly's house. We have wonderful pictures. They are nice, by the way. Thank you. He came.
That little guy.
That's it.
There we go.
That's my backyard.
He came through the woods again.
He's looking right at you, Kelly.
He's like, why you bothering me, man?
What do you want?
Why you bothering me?
Yeah,
came back
I'm
through
just
the
eating your
woods.
grass. Why you looking at me? Yeah.
And unfortunately, a car was coming down the hill when he came out of the woods again on West Road, which made him closer, and it chased him right down the road and back up into Montgomery. So it's no one's fault. It's happening. We're doing our best, and no bull.
No bull.
He's just a wandering guy who wants to walk around. We've been out. They call us at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
You can't go at night.
And we do. We go and look. By the time you get there, he's gone.
Yep.
My advice to people, though, is please don't chase. Please don't try to pet him. He's not a pet. He will run. He's not going to charge your cape, so don't take the red cape out.
No, he's very skittish.
And again, he's not our bull, and the advice we got from the man we owned him is, well, he'll come back.
Yeah, he doesn't know we're back.
No,
right
he
now.
doesn't.
No, I don't think he knows where that is.
He
Kathy.
doesn't know we're back.
No, it's not like he's lived there for any time. He dropped off. He ran back. He's gone. He's like he doesn't know where he is.
Yeah, and we're trying.
Yep.
We're doing our best, folks. We appreciate people letting us know where he is when they locate him, but don't chase. Just call us. We'll come. I won't come. I'm not the bull catcher.
No.
I'm not the bullfighter.
I would have been remiss if I didn't bring that up.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
Kelly's been providing some excellent pictures.
Yes, and the pictures
From my
are
back
great.
deck.
And they've been reporting where he is. It's nice to know where they see him.
Right, and I usually text my neighbor down the road who's supposed to be helping out, and then obviously Avery and them up at the farm there to let them know. Say it's in my backyard now.
He was seen on Deer Path. He was seen on Root Road.
Oh,
he
he's
was
down-
seen on
yeah.
Montgomery. And who knows?
Yep.
He's just got the wanderlust. And he's not old enough to vote, so.
But he couldn't get stuck in the sand pit back there, right? That makes it easy. Is there still a sand pit next to Deer Path?
No, it's a solar, isn't it?
That's all filled in now?
It's a solar farm now, I think. Somebody called. It was hilarious. They called and they said, your bull has been stuck by its horns in a tree.
It doesn't have
any horns.
Doesn't have any horns.
No. You
So
got the
I
wrong.
don't know what you're seeing, but lay off it
Yeah,
because
you got the wrong bull.
Why doesn't it have
Yeah.
horns, Kathy?
I have no idea.
Is it too young? To have
Yeah, it's
one?
probably
I
too
don't.
young.
I don't.
Or did- I
You're
don't know.
talking to the wrong lady.
Okay.
I'm a school teacher.
Yeah, well, that's exactly why I asked you.
Okay. I don't know.
Why doesn't the bull have horns? I don't see any teeth,
Well,
so there must be,
usually
there must
they
be horns.
Yeah, they usually take them off when they're very young. So
Uh-huh.
that's a good question. I will check with the farmer.
I expect an answer next week. You know, I expect an answer on social media this afternoon.
But I'll tell you, if this guy doesn't get his stuff together that he leaves in your yard, he's going to be Hamburg.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is probably where he was
Okay.
headed anyway. But
Yeah.
no,
All right, so got
that's
that
the
out.
ball.
Moving on, as you work your way towards becoming our next state rep. Well, you are technically, but you haven't been sworn in yet. Where are you going with your staff and maybe an office or something like that?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, I'm allowed one legislative aide, which I plan to have in town here with me. So if I'm in Boston, they can cover events if I'm not around for. And I do have an office space that I'm going to move into when I take office up at the Westwood building, up on the 3rd floor.
Okay.
Yep. So they have I looked it over and it seems to work because it's like 2 small little offices next to each other. It comes furnished with desk and file cabinets, and then across the hall there's a conference room that you can sign up to use with the other offices around there.
Now, how does that work? Does the state subsidize a district office?
Yeah, so this is what the state gives you for money. So
Okay.
this is what the state
Here comes
gives.
the facts.
I'm going to tell you because it's public knowledge, and this is what it is. So If you live more than 50 miles outside of Boston, you get $20,000 a year for office space and commuting expenses, and that counts your office supplies and everything like that. If you live within 50 miles, it's 15,000. So I get 20,000 to pay for me to commute back and forth, and to your tolls and gas and wear and tear on your vehicle.
It's kind of a break even.
Yeah, I think so. It's pretty close, and then you can you look around and try to get not an expensive office, but that office seemed like it's going to work pretty good. I mean, in the end, it's probably going to cost $7,000-8,000 a year or whatever, but it's not bad, and it's really nice, and the Westwood building's good. It's got the elevator, and for me, it's convenient. I think it's on the bus line, but it's right down the road from my house. So if I got to pick something up before going to Boston, or if I'm coming back from Boston, I want to drop something off before going home. It's close, and it's just a really really nice building. So, but that's pretty much how it works. And
if you have an important client, I wouldn't want to call him a client in this case.
Constituent.
If you have an important constituent come
Constituent.
by, you can walk them downstairs and have a nice, lovely adult beverage after your
meeting.
Your meeting is done.
Yes, I do like the.
That was
the
very
Westwood.
convenient when the school department and the city were in that building. When City Hall was in there, it was great. After work, you could go down and have a drink and then go home.
Yeah.
Or have dinner if you couldn't make it home.
Yeah, or bring dinner home to the family.
Yeah.
Hey, honey, I'm gonna pick up dinner. I'll be home.
That's a good segue. Speaking of dinner, what is the Pease family doing for Thanksgiving?
Well, we are going over.
You
my
never
sister's
miss
house.
a chance, do you?
No, we go to my sister's house for Thanksgiving. So there will be under 10. I mean, if there was over 10, then we wouldn't be going to my sister's house for Thanksgiving. We'd be going there for the funeral of her pet turkey, because you could have more people, right? You've seen that meme. But we go there.
Kenny's thrown that one out a few times now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and well worth it too.
Yeah, and then we usually and then she usually comes to my house for Christmas, so that's how we rotate it. But now she's got some new grandbaby, so I don't know if she'll be coming to my house for Christmas now. But But anyway, so I said, well, I'll buy the turkey since you might not be coming to my house for Christmas. So, so we go there, and it's always a good time. So.
Traditional turkey stuffing.
Oh yeah, and the sweet potatoes and the pies and everything. Yep.
All right. So are you a middle of the afternoon or dinner time Thanksgiving household?
Afternoon, probably usually between 1 and 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kathy, are you afternoon or dinner time for?
I've always been afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then you have leftovers for dinner.
Did you? Oh,
well, you get everyone the hell out of your house so you can watch primetime TV
at night. Yeah, there was a friend of mine does their own turkeys. A relative of yours, Ken, 42 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
42 pounds.
I heard there was a big problem with the turkey farm saying that they can't get rid of the bigger turkeys this year because of the smaller
people aren't
gather.
eating, yeah.
Right? So
But you know
people
what? You
want
can
the
take.
smaller
Well,
turkey.
you don't dare want to be seen walking out of a supermarket with a
that's
turkey
funny.
that'll feed 12 or 13 people.
But you can take it. I believe Danny Pooz's place will cut it for you.
Oh yeah.
We had a 30-something pounder.
Wow.
Yeah, and they would cut it up and you could freeze it in sections.
That's not bad.
We also have a lot of wild turkeys in our yard. I won't send them to your house, Kelly.
No,
I promise.
I get enough of those too.
Yeah, there's
the
tons
guy
of
through
them.
the woods. I think he feeds them, so I'll get 10 or 15.
You don't even have to feed them. We had no turkeys. We had no wild turkeys left in western Massachusetts. And back in I'm going to say 72. I could be wrong.
Sounds about right.
UMass had a project that they did with the New York State where they brought in, with the Wildlife Commission, they brought in wild turkeys.
They reintroduced them to the
repopulated
population.
them.
Oh yeah, we have a
We now
ton
have
of them.
tons of
There's a
wild
flock
turkey.
of about 120 of them up on Proven Mountain.
Oh my gosh.
They used to block the road. They wouldn't get out of the way.
Yep.
They have to go up there and do
don't.
something. They just don't move. They look at you like, yeah, okay.
They don't care. I was out blowing leaves last week, and they were right there on the other side of the fence. They didn't care.
There was the same thing with quail. I used to hunt quail years back, and they would stock the cornfields up in Hampshire County, and I'd go out and within half an hour, 45 minutes,
You got your limit?
I've got my limit.
Well, there are turkeys. We do not know. Here's your thought for the day, Ken. We don't even really know if the Pilgrims honestly ate turkey. It's never recorded anywhere. All they said is they sent the men out to hunt fowl.
Right.
We know they ate duck, geese, and swans. They do mention that, and
Well,
that the turkey was plentiful.
As nice as turkey is, I'm glad that Ben Franklin didn't get his way and make it.
Make it the bird. Yes, that's true.
The bald eagle is much more majestic
Oh, yes.
looking.
Oh, yes.
We have
we
those
came
too.
very close to that. Pete, I skipped over you a second ago. Your family traditionally an afternoon or a dinner time Thanksgiving feast?
This year, because I'm filling in a shift at Mount Holyoke, we're going to be late afternoon dinner time, like 4 or 5 o'clock.
But normally during the day?
Usually it's mid-afternoon. Mid-afternoon you do it. Kind of, you don't eat you eat a breakfast, and then you eat a mid-afternoon, and then you kind of just hang out for snacks afterwards.
Right. Yep.
All right, 9:48. Look at this. Time just flies here now and then.
Is it time for the game?
I think I want to play a game with Kelly Peace. Ken Sten is a list of rapid-fire questions I send off in your direction. What happened?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to do a loop with this.
The answer man doesn't know.
Oh, boy.
All right, let's try to go. I'm trying to do a loop with this thing, and it won't do it.
Ken's 10
There we
is
go.
a list of rapid-fire questions I send off in your direction. There are no right or wrong answers. It's just strictly your own humble opinion. I was up to Ken's 10 version 5.5 or 5.0. You might have done 5.0. I looked in my folder. I don't see one from you.
No, I didn't do any of them.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think so. But you're not going to do version 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. We can get to those at your next trip in here. But I am now up to Ken's 10 COVID edition 5.5.
Special. You're special.
There we go.
And you know, you can't sit there and think about this. You know, you have to kind of come up with your answer on the fly, Kelly.
Oh, boy.
All right. Number 1, Ken's Den with Kelly Pease. Delivery or curbside?
I prefer curbside, but I get a lot of deliveries. So you know, but
I've been doing a lot of my groceries that way now.
I don't know how they find your
oh no,
house.
I for groceries I still go to the store.
I'm 50-50.
But for like picking up food to go or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but groceries I go shopping still.
Yeah, there's one grocery store I don't go to in person just because of what it is, and they've been great delivering. Let's see, number 2, in relation to the COVID-15, weight gain or loss?
For me, a loss.
It looks like, yeah.
I lost 15 pounds because of the campaign trail, not because of COVID. So when everybody's sitting at home, I'm out there.
I see it in you from the very first time we started to talk to each other.
Oh, yeah. So now I got to maintain where I'm at and not let it come back on. Now that I'm
Number 3, terrified or cautious?
cautious.
Number 4, yes or no? Coughed and looked around to see if anybody was reacting.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't ever, you know?
Yes or no? Spending more money on your gas and electric bill?
No.
Most people were yes on that one. Yeah. Number 6, fashion mask or generic mask?
It's generic. I mean, in the beginning, I had a one that said P's for state rep on it, but
I remember that one.
Now it's just a plain blue one. Yep.
Number 7 is a yes or no. gone down the aisle of a market in the wrong direction.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yep. I'm like, oh.
You
Too late.
rebel, you.
And then I turn around and start walking back.
No, you don't.
We do. Who's looking?
I don't turn around and I keep going. And usually I'm going in the wrong direction the same time as the store employee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you had much time. Binge watch or normal TV viewing?
I'm just getting back to normal TV viewing a little bit. I haven't watched any TV hardly.
Yeah, figured that.
TV, what's that?
Yeah.
Number 9. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9. The older folk get that one.
Bueller.
Zoom. Love it or hate it.
It's okay. It's fine.
Gotta pick one.
All right, I guess I love it. It's fine because it keeps me from having to drive somewhere to meet folks, and so I can sit there in a meeting for like an hour, and then I can go back out and do my yard work that I was neglecting for the campaign. So.
And number 10, Ken's 10 COVID edition 5.5 with Kelly Pease. Yes or no? Did you have toilet paper issues?
No.
No. All right. And that wraps up Ken's 10. It's a little something to do, to break things up a bit,
Can I tell you about the toilet paper thing?
Absolutely.
So before COVID,
look at this. I've got 6 minutes left.
So before COVID, BJ's had a sale. It's like if you buy these items, you get a gift card. I'm like, okay, well I'm going to go through this eventually, so I stock up on some toilet paper and stuff like this. So then when COVID hit, they said they're running out of toilet paper. I looked at my wife and I said, I think we're okay.
Now it's the BJ's has it for gas special, so you get 10 cents off on your gas.
Oh yeah.
So before the second wave hit, I did the same thing.
Yeah.
I went shopping at Big Y on Sunday, and at checkout I got 15 cents off a gallon on their new gas station.
I know, that's
on Main
fantastic
Street.
that they have that here.
Yeah, 15 cents a gallon.
Yep. Is it capped like the Stop and Shop?
I didn't look.
20 gallons or something? I don't know.
I didn't
have a
look
truck,
because
so.
because I still have half a gallon or half a tank of gas in both of my vehicles, and that's going to take me a month or two to go through.
Yeah.
You don't go anywhere anymore.
Yeah, I love it. I'm not putting any mileage on my vehicles.
I get excited when I have to put gas in now. Oh my God, I got to put gas in.
You mentioned the toilet paper.
Here we go.
Chiho Bunch. Westfield on weekends in their tree jubilee, there is one tree, and you'll be able to see the photos of it. Yeah, some of it might have been leaked to social media already, but when we post the raffle up on Friday, you'll see it. It's the 2020 Christmas tree, and you win. You bid the tree, and if you're drawn on it, you get to take the tree. It's built out of like 160 rolls of toilet paper.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Be the envy of all your friends. Bid high, bid often.
Where is this located? Down in the green?
No, it's up at Roots.
Roots? That's up at Roots.
We're
That's right.
staging it at the
That's right. I
Westfield
was
News
listening to you
at
guys.
Roots.
Yep.
We just didn't have the room at Renova this year to display them all, and to do that and keep social distancing. So we're lucky enough to partner with the Westfield News and stage everything up there.
Yep.
But Friday, you'll be able to go on to WestfieldOnWeekends.com and follow the links, and you'll be able to see the 2020 toilet paper tree.
I can't wait. I'll bet it's hilarious. I really do want to see it.
There are two of us that thought that was the greatest tree out of all
That is
19 of them
funny.
up there.
Yeah, I think it is.
And then
It's
the
a
other
great
people,
idea.
the other people were repulsed. It was, oh, that's not classy at all. Oh, that's horrible. So there's a
For Pete's
real
sakes.
mix.
We gotta laugh. You
Yeah.
gotta laugh at something now because.
Oh, yeah.
If you see it, you're gonna be like, you know what? That's great.
I love it.
And it's practical because it's almost a gift that keeps on giving
Oh, jeez. So I will say that
Go ahead.
you guys were talking earlier about having the competition for the decorated house.
Mhm.
Well, just over, if you're going into Westfield over the Turnpike Bridge on Montgomery Road, that first right there, that guy always had his house that's lit up with the music.
Oh, yes.
Last year he didn't do it. But
yep.
this year it looks like it's on again. So I
Oh,
drove by, I
good.
saw him putting all the lights up.
Didn't I see somebody post that one of those types
Isn't
of
it like up near
displays
Saint
are going to be
Pierre?
even
Thank you.
bigger and greater than ever before?
It
Yeah,
might
that's
be
up
that.
near St. Pierre Lane, something like
Yeah,
that.
it's
Yeah.
is it? No, it's right before
No,
St. Pierre.
It's not
It's
St. Pierre.
yeah, it's right before
Bellevue.
Bellevue.
Yeah.
The
Bellevue.
end of Bellevue. Yeah.
I think the guy had health issues last year. That's
Oh,
what
Yeah.
oh,
prevented
maybe
him.
because but it's all decorated because I was over there. I don't know if
He's
I was picking up.
back.
I think I was picking up some yard signs, and I saw that he was getting it all decorated up. I'm like, oh, he's gonna have this again because I always bring the kid over. And,
I'd really like him if he was going to enter that lighting contest to wait towards the end. Because if some of his competition see him right at the beginning, I don't want losing out on some of that potential entry money.
yeah, but I mean,
I'm sorry to sound selfish, but
but it's also good because then
Yeah.
you get your name out there, and because then you get to go and drive around the city and see the other places that I'm sure are very nice. Just not quite to that.
Yeah, well, we had a huge response to the Scarecrow tour. So we're expecting that the holiday lighting thing is going to be
It's
rather
such
huge.
a great idea. It is such a great
Ca-
idea.
Kathy?
It really is.
That was my idea.
Really? Well,
Good job, Kate.
congratulations. In terms of
Yeah.
because of the COVID and even not even considering the COVID, when I was a kid, it was a big deal to ride around and look at the decorations.
Even when I was a child.
So for families, it's wonderful.
And obviously it's a Westfield on Weekends idea and a Westfield on Weekends event, a thing.
Mhm.
But I was at the board meeting, and I just turned around and said, it'd be great if we could do something like the Scarecrow or Halloween house tour with Christmas and Christmas lights and have a competition.
Yep.
And then somebody else on the board said, Ken, are you suggesting we have a lighting contest? So that's how that became. How that became.
Nice.
Yeah. You can
It's
blame
a
me.
great idea.
All right.
No, we don't
No, it's
blame
awesome.
you.
And
We
that's
thank
that.
you.
Minute left, Kelly. Anything that you want to?
No, I look
Get out
forward
to
to
our
it. It looks
constituents.
like it's not until January 6th that I take office, so I continue to learn up to that point, and then I hope to hit the ground running and advocate for the city of Westfield and do the best job I can.
Excellent. State Rep-elect Kelly Peeves, I want to thank you for coming in this morning.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Kelly.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Next week, Mayor Don Humison will be in his house. That's all I have for you. I'll catch you next time.